Welcome viewers, Dr. JWA, theologist since 1994. Let's get into it. We're on the Count Straight channel. Covert Female Narcissist, episode 23. When you started silencing yourself before she even spoke. Love should not make silence feel emotionally safer than honesty. You probably did not notice the exact moment it began, not clearly, because at first it felt responsible, mature, measured. You simply became more selective with what you shared, more careful with timing, more aware of how quickly the atmosphere should shift after certain conversations. So naturally your nervous system just started adjusting ahead of the tension, not after it, before it. And that distinction matters, viewers, because eventually the emotional conditioning becomes anticipatory. You stop reacting to her instability. You start preventing it preemptively. The kitchen light hums softly above the room. Her expression barely changes, but your body already feels the emotional weather moving underneath the silence. Before the conversation fully begins, part of you has already decided what not to say. That's where the erosion becomes existential. Because now suppression is no longer conscious effort, it becomes automatic internal editing. A thought arises, your nervous system evaluates the possible emotional cost, and the thought disappears before it ever reaches the atmosphere. And viewers, love should not train you to censor yourself for emotional survival. But with the covert female narcissist, eventually it does. Especially when honesty repeatedly becomes associated with tension, withdrawal, emotional coldness, accusation, distance, and subtle punishment. So your nervous system adapts again, not because you stop feeling things, but because expression and expressing them stopped feeling emotionally safe. And slowly the relationship with the covert female narcissist starts teaching you peace comes through reduction of self. The frightening part is how invisible this process becomes. From the outside, the relationship may still appear functional. No screaming, no dramatic explosions, no obvious collapse. And yet, internally, you are slowly disappearing behind emotional filtration. You stop saying what you fully think. You stop asking what you fully need. You stop expressing discomfort before it fully forms, and eventually silence starts replacing authenticity inside the relationship itself. The television speaks softly in the background, and the covert female narcissist's attention drifts towards her phone again. A faint smile appears at something you can't see, and your body notices it immediately. And that underlay matters because covert narcissistic dynamics often create a psychological atmosphere where emotional uncertainty remains active, attention feels unstable, admiration feels externally sourced, and engagement feels conditional. And reassurance never fully settles with the covert female narcissist. And over time, your nervous system starts protecting itself through emotional minimization. Yes, emotional minimization. And that's where masculinity starts to disappear dramatically. Not because the danger is always explicit, but because the atmosphere keeps teaching your body full authenticity, full masculinity risks emotional destabilisation. So you become quieter internally, more emotionally edited, more strategically agreeable, and somewhere underneath all that adaptation, viewers, another fear quietly starts forming. What happens if I fully say what I really feel? The question reveals the covert female narcissistic captivity you have put yourself in. Because healthy connection does not make authenticity, masculine authenticity, feel dangerous. And viewers, love should not make emotional honesty feel like self-destruction. But with the covert female narcissist, eventually it does. And over time, the emotional suppression becomes so normal that your silence starts feeling more natural than your truth. And viewers, for your masculinity, that is catastrophic. That is the catastrophic part. Not merely that you stopped speaking freely, but more so that your nervous system slowly began believing that self-erasure was safer than emotional abandonment. And somewhere inside all that silence, you quietly stopped recognizing how much of your inner world no longer felt emotionally safe enough to bring into the relationship with the covert female narcissist at all. I'm Dr. J.W. Ayub, theologist since 1994. Like, subscribe, press the bell, comment to educate me, and share the video to help somebody else. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.